I remember the day we were having farewell of Manohar Reddy Garu from the board. Also, this journey was explained how you have worked to get AICT scales of 86 in the year from 96 to 98, and then how you got 96 scales. In order to motivate people to do their best, I feel service conditions must be good. Because if people are worried about their service conditions, most of their time or thought process gets unnecessarily diverted into that. That is why whenever you have approached with some issue, we have, at least from the commissioner side, we have tried to solve it. And I must say that two things have made a big difference in motivating us on this side to solve it. One is the hard work which you put in preparing those issues, in crystallizing what is the issue, how it can be solved. And two is the amicable nature with which you approach. Because I have worked in government now for nearly about 25 years. We just finished our 25 years, and this month, in fact, on 19th to 21st, we are having our Silver Jubilee reunion in Mussoorie. I will be going for 3 days. Many departments, when people approach in a cantankerous way, there is unnecessary tempers get raised, unnecessary difficult relationships are there. And then things don't get, the issues don't get sorted out by heart. Things become different issues. The solutions are simple, but just these egos play a role. But in this department, what I've seen is the amicable nature in which you work and you approach makes you feel, if you are asking one step, one feels like taking 1.5 steps or 2 steps. And I think this has come from the way the founders of this association have inculcated, right from Manohar Reddy Garu time, and all the office bearers. I won't take each and every name, but all the office bearers who have inculcated this way of approaching the administration and way of approaching government. I think that is the reason why you've had this successes in the past. And when you transfer this way of doing things to the next generations, many upcoming or many young people are there who are the future, I'm sure that things will always be sorted out. Whosoever is working as a commissioner. You've also spoken about the reforms which we have had. And I always, whenever we talk about reforms, I always make it a point to say that reforms are always a teamwork. One person may get an idea, one person may think of it, but it is never successful unless until it is a collective work. So the OSDS has worked because it has been collectively accepted, because the issues which were there, because whenever a new system is there, there are issues also. We can't have a perfect system on day one. There'll be problems which will come. I mean, some login issue will be there, some biometric is not working, some mistake is happening, some error is coming, some logging off will happen. Issues will be there, because unless until we use the system, it will not refine. But then there was so much of cooperation and so many suggestions came that how this can be improved. And that is how this has come up. Same thing with the curriculum. The C18 curriculum first is a collective exercise of the entire department, I would say. Because so many people who have worked as committee members to design it, we had some feeling that no, we should be different from where we have been in the past. But ultimately delivering it has happened because each one felt that yes, we need to step away from where we are into the future, and it came in. And with C21, we have gone a step further forward. So much so that today we are now talking of some open book exams also in some subjects. And that is the need of the hour, because we cannot have the way we conducted things or way we taught students 20, 30 years back or 10 years back. That has to change if we have to be relevant in the future. The world is changing so fast. There's so much of transformation which is happening. Standing today, I cannot tell you what kind of jobs will be there 10 years later. And I can tell you that you can talk to experts, because I keep talking on various conferences, forums. Across the board you will get the same answer. 10 years down the line, we cannot predict today what is the nature of work going to be. The world is changing so fast. Even 5 years down the line, things are very unpredictable. So unless until we are changing with the time, we are changing with the technology, the work which we do will become outdated, and if our work becomes outdated, we become. So that is why we have to reinvent, keep reinventing. And to reinvent, we have to be constantly knowing what is happening around us. And we have to move away from simple rote learning, that exam is, manamu cheppamu aina yeah. So rote learning and then put it in the exam, passed. It will not. It is not working today also, and it will not work in the future. That is why we have attempted to change our examination system, make it more application oriented. But we have to go further. That's the reason why we are talking of open book. Why we are talking about this? Because it's not about rote learning, but it is about understanding, analyzing, and applying. That is the where, if we are able to modify ourselves and modify the way we teach students, it will change. In fact, with online learning, I must say, this COVID has been I would say, a big game changer in education. And in fact, all of you have worked very hard in very, very quickly transforming from a manual or a physical teaching system to an online system. Within, I think, when we gave the orders, within 2 days, more than 90% of the faculty members were on online. Somebody started with Zoom, somebody started with Google, somebody started with Microsoft Teams, somebody started with another platform, and it happened. So today, with this 1.5 years of experience, the experts say that future of education is also going to be sort of a hybrid mode of learning. Because student is not coming to the class for only information. Information is available on his mobile phone today. You want to learn about a subject, hundreds of videos are available, hundreds of sites are available where you can learn. So information is available. If we simply provide that information to the student in the class, he or she is not interested. His or her time span is very, very limited. Within 5-10 minutes, he is put off. The reason why he or she will come to the class is if you make it interesting and if you make it more discussion based. In fact, yesterday evening I was seeing a video of education in Finland, not higher education but school education. They say that Finland's education system is the best. So suddenly I was having some free time, I was looking at it. And very interesting was how Finland, every teacher in school education, every teacher gets to design their own curriculum. 100%. They have the autonomy and the power to decide what they teach in the class. I mean, I'm just saying that is the level into which some countries are going. That the teacher in the class gets to decide, of course in the school, what they want to teach, which class, whichever subject. I mean, that is the kind of that autonomy they have. And they say that it is the best system in the world. The Finland education system is way ahead of most of the developed countries also. So student will come if there is discussion, analysis and this thing. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be constantly evolving with time. Now coming to some of the issues which you have raised, especially some pending issues of our this AICTE 2016. One of this is the arrears. In fact, today afternoon only Venkateshwar showed me the calculation. Some 147 crores was the figure which he has shown me, and we will immediately, I think a day or two, we will send it across to the government. And I expect that it should come, because Jio, there is a commitment that the orders will be issued separately, but there is a commitment. And we hope that also should come soon. Coming to the increment for in-service MTech, those who got it prior to 2016, of course this, I must agree that there is a genuine demand, but we have this tricky issue, because this Jio is silent, totally silent about it, whereas UGC, there is a particular mention of increments for MPhil. Maybe we can try to set a special proposal that those who have already got, because though I wanted, I have tried to take as many decisions at my level as possible, but this is something which I am unable to. I was unable to take this decision at my end, because Jio is completely silent on it. I mean, absolutely, there is no talk on it. So maybe what we will do is we will send a special proposal from this, recommending to the government that those who have already got, that it should be continued. So that is something which I give my commitment to you. Maybe along with this this proposal also, let it go to government. And some other PhD you mentioned. I already had discussions with at least 2 universities, because Malareddy